Do you think that there's women who have a preference where they don't want to make any financial decisions and they just want to do what their husband says?
Yeah, but then
it's not abuse.
No, there should be limits to everything. If a woman's working at home and they don't have money for their own shoes, but
that's not your fucking business. That is not your fucking business.
There's something called financial abuse.
There's something called mind your own fucking business.
There's a lot of things that you talk on that's not your business.
Do you know what
you still do it?
Do you know what business is and how you should mind it? Like, it's not for you. It's not for you to make a determination that a woman needs to have her own money for X. How do you determine that? You just make it up?
Because I was a nanny for 10 plus years. I made way above the national average.
So
and
all
I
women
made
should be like you.
It was a hard job. Why would we get married to you? And then
I wouldn't want you to get married to me.
Not you. I mean, men in general.
I wouldn't want men in general to marry you.
When we have jobs, why would we get rid of our jobs?
Why? You're right. I agree. So I don't even understand what the argument is. I completely agree with you. If you are advocating that a woman needs to be able to be sassy pants, I have my own money, I'm a girl boss. Should you marry
that? I'm disabled. I don't have that much money.
Should you marry her if she's not in alignment with your goals? The answer is fucking no, you shouldn't. It's very simple.
Yeah, alignment with goals is different than getting married. And
my goal is to have a woman, let's say, who submits to me.
Yeah, submission is fine when it's not abusive.
Well, abusive is perspective. What is abusive? Is me making the financial decision that you can't go spend money? Is that abusive?
It can be.
Yeah, so it's possible. It's kind of nebulous.
Anything can be abusive if it's to an extreme.
It's perspective, right? That's perspective.
No, anything can be abusive to an extreme.
So let's say you go out, you spend $4,000 you really shouldn't have spent.
See, that's an extreme. No.
Let's say you go spend $4,000 you shouldn't have spent, so I cut off your credit cards and you can't spend anything. Is that abusive?
No, we can't afford it.
No, it's not abusive, right? So I guess cutting women off from money isn't always abusive, is it?
I didn't say it was, did I?
So the thing is like having alignment and perspective of if a man wants to make the financial decisions, that's not only not abusive, but what you do is you give this like nebulous idea. If the man, so it's baked into the hypothetical, the man shouldn't be abusive. If he's abusive, it's like, yeah, sure, but give me examples of what you're talking about.
If a woman's being abused and she has
See what I mean? If a woman's being abused, what is that though?
Let's say being hit or...
Yeah, I don't advocate women get hit.
I'm saying if they're put in a financial situation where they cannot leave and they are not getting their fundamental basic things taken care of.
Like what? Like they can't have food?
Clothes.
So you
That's
think that I advocate? So wait, you think that I advocate that women who are dependent on men,
didn't say you did.
That the men don't feed them or get them clothes?
There are abuses.
There are not. No, nobody's ever advocated for that. That's just fucking ridiculous. Then what? What is the abuse you're talking about then?
So your statement about submission, you're not really submitting.
Yeah.
If you have objections at all, then you're not really submitting. I heard you say that like multiple shows. That's what have a problem with.
Yeah, even though that's never been said.
I'll send it to you after the show.
Mm-hmm.
It was recent episodes.
Yeah, the idea here is things like this. You can't decide what school Junior goes to. You should defer to the man. If you don't defer to the man, you're not actually submitting to him. That is true. Yes.
I agree that's true, but in argument, you said you're not really submitting if you have objections at all.
No, that's never happened.
I'm going to send it to you.
In fact, I've said multiple times that the comportion of submission has to comport with reason. So a man can't ask you to do things like jump off a building. And you go, no. And you go, well, you're not really fucking submitting then.
I'll send you the clips, but it sounded pretty bad when I heard it.
That's because you hear what you want to hear.
You legit said that, though.
No, I doubt it.
Since we don't have the clip, then
I'll send it to you afterwards, but I promise.
That's fine. So I need to have some back and forth here. So again, the harmful rhetoric from the show is leading to increases in domestic violence against women.
I didn't say it was. I said it could.
Okay, you being on the show could lead to an increase in like male murders. I don't know how to contend with like it could something.
I think if someone doesn't have good morals, then they shouldn't be thinking that women should submit to them. And the majority of these men
It's just incoherent. Okay.
How is it incoherent?
It's just all
if you
over
don't
the
have
place. I'm gonna
morals, you
move on to
shouldn't.
the
No,
next
if you
thing.
don't have morals, you shouldn't be thinking
morals?
that a woman should
Whose morals?
submit.
Whose morals? Yours?
Just normal morals in society.
Based on who?
Like don't scream and cuss at a woman. Don't
Why
isolate
why
them.
not?
Don't
Wait, why not?
isolate them
Yeah,
from.
why
Wait,
not?
why not?
Okay.
What if she cusses and yells at you?
Well, then you shouldn't do that. Then y'all should both leave because it's toxic.
What if you tell a woman to shut up? Can you tell your wife to shut up?
Yeah.
No, okay. Well then,
All right.
I guess.
seems fine to me.
You said men with no virtue are getting unhealthy.
Yes. Dude, I'm sorry.
Men with no virtue are getting unhealthy ideas about relationships and putting women in danger.
Yes. That's the same thing we were talking about before.
You're talking about my audience?
Yeah, a lot of them don't have virtue. If you're going around
What
hoeing
evidence
around,
do you have that my audience doesn't have virtue? I'm prepared to take the position my audience has greater virtue than the general average population.
Even more.
Who's
virtuous,
right?
yeah.
Who's right? Okay,
Well-
what evidence do you have for that?
because,
Sorry, go ahead.
because first of all, the things that they're saying, but
Because the things are said, ergo, audience has no virtue. I say bad
And-
thing, audience has no virtue. How does that
because
follow?
when y'all say stuff like women don't care about body count, and
The majority of women don't, but okay.
we do in the way that men are going around lying to women to get them to sleep with them, like let's say her case where she was a.
That's iffy in her case.
It's very toxic when you're comparing women's body count when like a large portion of the time we're not going around being horny. We actually want relationships with these people, and men think it's okay to lie to get.
Do you wear makeup?
Yeah, that is a lie. I'm
You're-
covering
you're
a rash right now.
You're lying.
Yeah, but my body is different than my face.
Hello? Can you stop interrupting? Yeah, women lie through wearing makeup.
Yeah.
And that's inducing men who wouldn't otherwise be attracted to these women to
Yeah.
have sex with them. You lie about all manner of your appearance. There's plastic surgery. There's
True.
like wearing certain like the padded bras and shit. Women lie about their physical appearance. Men care a whole lot about how you look. Women lie about it. You induce men to have sex with you that otherwise wouldn't.
True.
Cool.
So, the transgender topic, when you say it's no,
are
this
we
this
going?
correlates.
Okay, all right.
And let me finish. When you say that you would argue that it's SA if a transgender person doesn't say.
Disclose.
Did you know that it's actually considered coercion, which is illegal if you want to have sex with someone based on the knowledge that you have of them, and you have sex with them based on a lie. That's actually, if you look it up, it's actually called coercion. So I would argue that it's coercion if like a married man lies to have sex with someone, or someone lies about their entire
Honestly,
life.
then every single human being who's ever lived is a rapist. People lie all the time. I'll stay with you forever. This is and this will be an inducement for this person to have a sexual relationship with them. I'll never leave you. These are things that people say to each other in a relationship. I'll love you forever. I'll never leave you. Invariably, they don't love that person anymore. I don't think somebody, because they've made an utterance of, I will love you forever, they are now compelled to remain in love with that person forever.
No.
People say these sorts of pufferys in relationships. I don't think that that's like coercive.
I give my body to you based on knowledge that you lied about. It's the same thing as you saying that I give my body to you thinking that you were a woman when you're not. It's coercion. I don't see how one is worse than the other. I think it's both just as wrong.
Just clarifying, so when it comes to the trans thing, if they're trans and they don't disclose, that's like coercive, or
yeah, you said
I don't
in the
think I
past that
disagree.
you said that you said that it
Wait, so
you
do
would
you-
argue that it's SA.
Wait,
Which
so-
is the
but
most minor
do you
amount of, it is illegal to coerce people into sex. It's illegal. So even though it's socially acceptable, if you look up the laws, it's actually illegal to do that. No one gets arrested for that. Most people don't get arrested for any SA. But if you look up coercion, it is considered SA.
So do you think that if a man says to a woman, I love you, right? And he's lying, and then she sleeps with him. Should he go to jail?
No, I don't think they should. I'm just saying it is illegal.
Wait,
if he thinks it's SA to lie about that to get into
Since you brought up
bed,
the trans thing, you said it is scientifically proven that gender isn't only male and female.
that's
How would it be scientifically proven?
because there's
Like when you say science, are you talking about biology?
yeah
For gender?
Gender doesn't pertain to biology.
It's a social construct.
I mean not whatever sex.
Sex.
That's what I mean by
Okay.
sex.
Okay. You said there are more intersex people than trans people out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually true, but you said there are
No,
males.
that's probably true.
It is true, but no
Yeah,
one cares
but
about that.
it's because
yeah.
it's because of the broad scope of. So it depends on what you classify as intersex. So there's
I
two
agree.
competing studies. But anyway, okay.
You said there are males that can have babies.
Technically, they would have to inseminate themselves, but it is technically possible for intersex person to get pregnant with
To
their own baby.
impregnate themselves.
Oh no, to impregnate themselves. But yeah, men do have babies.
Is this
Look it
actually
up.
an intersex phenomenon? I'm not.
Yeah,
actually
no,
sure.
the majority of the population don't know. Look it up.
Hang
It's
on.
not taught in biology.
I'm not disputing it.
It's
I'm just
true.
going to clarify it.
Yeah, it's
okay?
true.
When you say intersex, that doesn't actually mean you have two sexes. So things can fall under intersex, like a man has cancer, they remove his
Yeah.
testicles, it ups estrogen, and he gets man boobs. And that's considered intersex by some criteria. So when it's
Yeah.
gone through and it's reevaluated for, I don't remember if this was, I think the study's called Stiegel, but they went through and reevaluated it, and they took it from the absurd percentage they had down to like 0.1%, which
It's
was actually,
0.4.
which was actually intersex conditions.
It was 0.4%.
You're not going to
Point
linger
zero
on
four.
that. There's a ton to get through. So okay.
Yeah.
So you made a criticism about I make generalizations.
Yeah.
Do you you avoid generalizations completely?
Yeah, I mean, I try to.
Let me read some of your notes here. You said, I think this would even be a generalization. I just read it. Men with no virtue are getting unhealthy ideas about relationships, putting women in danger. You mentioned the thing about domestic violence, and that men watching the show would be more inclined to like domestic violence. That seems like a generalization. You said that men thinking that, these are your words, that they only need to work a full-time job, then they can just chill and play World of Warcraft in all their free time is the issue. That seems like a generalization
It's
towards men.
not.
How is
Can I-
not you said
Can I?
men thinking that they only need to work a full-time job, then they can just chill and play World of Warcraft in all their free time is the issue. So here's the generalization you made. You were saying essentially that men, in order to get women, men think wrongly that all they need to do is have a full-time job and they have to like not do anything besides just chill and play video games. This seems like a total.
That's not
hold on.
what I meant.
Bro,
70%.
they're your fucking words,
Listen,
lady.
I've done
I can't-
let
if
me
you want to just
explain.
walk back every single position of
No,
yours,
I have
this is your
reasons.
stated written position.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the
I
reason.
can't have a debate with somebody who wants to walk back all their fucking
No,
positions, bro.
70% of divorces are
damn.
from women, right? If you talk to the women who are
Hold on.
having the divorces,
Hold on.
this is what's happening.
Oh, that seems like a generalization.
No.
Yeah, you wrote 70% of marriages are initiated by women, but there's a
It's
reason
my
for that.
research.
You said domestic violence, emotional abuse, financial abuse, cheating, substance abuse, lack of intimacy, and unequal division of household responsibilities. I've seen the stat that says it's 80% of marriages are the divorce is initiated by women. But I'm a little bit, or you said 70% of
It's
marriages, 70% of
69%.
divorces are initiated by women. What percentage of divorces that are initiated by women fall into domestic violence, emotional abuse, financial abuse, cheating, substance abuse, lack of intimacy, and unequal division of household responsibilities?
I think
All of them?
40% was like qualified as what's the term is just like
you
different
scoot your mic
differences.
to the
What's the
edge of the
term they
table?
use? That's like
Can you
differences.
just scoot your mic to the edge of the table, please?
What's the term they use where it's like differences that you can't. The divorce term. That's
Irreconcilable.
yes.
differences.
So I think 40% was societal differences, but that's like a broad statement.
So 60% of men who are getting divorced are like abusers.
No. I'd say,
That
I
seems
think
like
it was 14%.
That seems like a generalization.
I'd say
Wow, this is some really harmful
14%.
rhetoric that you're putting out there.
14%.
It's going to result in domestic violence towards men from their female spouses.
It's 14% is abuse. From what I looked up, it's 14% is domestic violence. I'm saying if you look at the terms, yeah, the majority
That's cool.
of
So
it.
I'm addressing the whole generalization thing that you
I'm not.
accused
I've
me
looked
of
up
doing.
stats.
You said that then y'all men play victims on divorce.
The show.
Who, me?
Yeah, you always bring up that we're stealing your money and
What?
that women are like
Yes,
taking all
divorce.
your money.
The financial ramifications of divorce disproportionately negatively impact men when it comes to alimony and child support.
That's true. I agree with that. But women in marriage, we lose all of our financial freedom. We don't get
don't.
disability if we don't
Women
have
do get disability.
not if you don't have work credits. After divorce, I'm disabled. I know this. So if you get married and you get divorced,
Are you being paid alimony?
no. And I live in Texas. We don't have alimony.
I'm not privy to the precise disability laws as it pertains to Texas.
just talking
as it
disability.
relates to divorce and the impact divorce might
It's-
have on your
Yeah, is it
ability
Social Security
to, I don't know,
disability?
Oh yeah, you can't get Social Security disability. You can get SSI, which is
interested in
like
that.
$500 a month.
Yeah,
but
you can get Social Security
but
disability.
you get SSI, but you can't get SSDI. SSI is up to $534 a month. SSDI is
it doesn't.
it does
I don't know.
matter.
I literally know divorced men who get SSDI.
Yeah, because they have work credits.
Yeah,
You have to have a certain amount of work
I see. So you're
credits.
saying you didn't pay enough into the system?
Yeah, because if you're at home with the children and stuff and
You
you
got
get
children?
divorced, no, I don't. You said that, yeah, we're on the argument of
I think I understand.
marriages,
So
right?
the argument, let me just make sure I got it
Yeah.
right. So the argument is women stay at home, so they're not contributing to the workforce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So since they're not contributing to the workforce, they don't put enough money into Social Security to draw the type of disability they would need if they became disabled.
Yes.
Okay.
And then men are 4 times more likely to leave a woman.
But this would be the same thing with a stay-at-home dad, right?
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
I didn't say it
what
wasn't.
was the fake study you were about to cite? Men are more likely to leave their wives if they
4
have like
times.
cancer or something? Is
No,
that
even
bullshit?
like nurses and stuff, they talk about it. It's
Yeah,
not
I don't
like a
care
fake
about the
study.
anecdotal stuff. That study was absolutely debunked. This idea that
okay,
men are
fine.
like 7 times more likely to
I didn't
leave
say
their
it was 4
wives.
times.
Okay, well, the
I think
one
the
I
study
heard.
says 7.
I'm pretty.
Yeah.
The
Oh.
study I'm
The one I
familiar with
saw was
said.
4 times. All I'm saying is that there are issues because we leave the workforce, and it's harder to get a job if you haven't had a job in 20 years and you get divorced.
A hairdresser, when in the early 2000s, she gets divorced 20 years later, she can continue being a hairdresser. There's not going to, she can like, then she can charge market rate for a haircut. Like
you have
this
to
idea
start
that,
off as like a
I mean,
bit
it
bottom level.
it
You,
seems like
you
you're-
lose your status.
But
and
that just
your-
seems like
your
a
job.
great deal to me. I don't even understand what the complaint is. So, like, if the deal was presented to me, you don't have to work but can stay home, and you stay home for a limited amount of time before your kids require less and less care. The more years that go by, the less time that you actually have to spend caring for the kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be provisioned for the rest of your life. That's a great fucking deal. That's like a great deal. I don't know what the complaint there is.
It can be, and
If the marriage doesn't break up because
Yes,
the woman
exactly.
doesn't girl boss and say, "Don't tell me what shoes I can fucking buy," which is what you're trying to say earlier, right? Don't